I've used the 7Artisans 7.5mm f2.8 fisheye for several months now. I've done some astrophotography and street photography and just generally got a good feel for the lens. So now it's time for my review. If you're unfamiliar, the 7Artisans lens collection tend to be quite affordable, generally manual focus and pretty good sort of quality for the price. And that's what I've found using this lens. The 7Artisans fisheye comes in a lovely little package, well more premium than I was expecting given the price point, in a lovely little black box, and in true Emily fashion, I just, like a kid at Christmas, whipped the lens out of the box and threw the box away instead of getting footage of it like a sane person. So I'll just pop a picture up and you know, take my word for it, it's very nicely packaged. The build quality is a mix of metal and plastic with the lens hood. It's very, very robust, but it's not ridiculously heavy. Some manual focus lenses are all about the build quality, but they weigh a ton. And that sort of doesn't usually translate very well to Micro Four Thirds because, of course, we want light and portable equipment. So very happy to report that this lens is small, well built, and not too heavy. It's significantly lighter than the Olympus equivalent and significantly smaller too. It is manual focus, and don't let that put you off, because when you're shooting so wide, basically everything's in focus anyway. If you shoot in maybe like a 50mm manual focus, you do have to take time to figure out the focus distance and get everything right. With fisheye, you kind of have basically two options. It's a spinning sort of twisty focus ring as normal, but you have if something is really close to the lens, stick it in close focus mode. If nothing is overly close to the lens, like a meter or above away, leave it in infinity. You could happily walk around doing street photography with it in infinity mode all day and everything will come out sharp, which is basically what I did. So you won't be slowed down with a manual focus as you may be in longer focal lengths. Because I took it out in a very bright day, I was shooting at f8-ish all day, which gave me incredibly sharp results throughout. The corners, though you do obviously get barrel distortion by design, the corners were intact enough that you can defish, remove the barrel distortion and make it look more like a standard wide angle lens if you so desire. Of course, that is a workaround. If you want a wide angle lens without distortion, you may want to look at the Laowa 7.5mm, or is it 7mm? It's a very nice wide angle lens that seems to be sort of the go-to lens for wide angle primes in Micro Four Thirds. But the 7Artisans is a great, slightly more affordable alternative. In previous videos last month, you'll see that I used this for my astrophotography, and it's my now go-to lens for astrophotography. I think it's blooming brilliant. And of course, all of that was shot in 2.8 wide open. So very, very sharp wide open, even under the more challenging conditions of shooting at night. It does suffer from flares occasionally, as most wide angle lenses will, because the front element is curved and massive. So the flares do tend to become an issue if you're shooting right into the light, which we don't do very often. So keep that in mind. And there's not much that you can do about that either, because if you stick a bigger lens hood on it, it will come into the picture because the field of view is that wide. So keep your flares under control, and I think you'll have no issues with this lens at all. Given the size of the lens, I think it's something that I can just stick in my bag and use as and when, because we all know fisheye isn't really something that we use all the time. It's quite a niche sort of lens. So it's handy that this is small and compact enough to just sort of keep in your bag and use when the situation arises. I personally love fisheye for really taking advantage of the barrel distortion. So when you are in front of towering buildings, or if you have trees that sort of, it makes it appear that they bow over in front of the lens, which looks really cool. Also great for interior shots to make sort of spaces look wider than life. For video, of course, fisheye isn't the best. You do get the movement quite apparent with the barrel distortion, so nobody really buys a fisheye lens for video, so we'll just stick to photography in this review. So there we go. If you would like a wide angle lens that is affordable, you can take with you everywhere, is reliable, and also has the added benefit of being blooming brilliant for astrophotography if you want to have a dabble, I don't think you can go far wrong with the 7Artisans lens. If you want to invest more into less of a barrel distorted sort of wide angle lens that is fast, check out the Laowa. I hope I'm saying that right, and I'll also leave a link to both of them below so you can compare them yourself. If you just want a fun walkabout lens to get some interesting, weird sort of perspectives, it's great. You know, if you're going to be using fisheye all the time, I have to recommend the Olympus Fisheye. I did a full review of that Pro lens here, which you can check out, which was also in Liverpool, so it's quite interesting that the test footage will be quite similar. That one is 1.8, so super fast and sharp and just delightful, but it is also like 900 times the price. That is an exaggeration, but not far off. So if you have any questions at all about the 7Artisans lenses, let me know. And if you'd like me to review more of the 7Artisans range, do let me know, because I've seen the 55mm, it looks quite interesting, and I am very impressed with the quality to price sort of ratio with this brand. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Got him! Oh my god!